I'm going to continue with my Minesweeper game. It's already working more or less, but it looks quite hideous. So in this video I'm going to finish the game and make it look much better. So in this video let's continue from where we left off with Minesweeper and make it look a little bit more beautiful. This is already a functional Minesweeper, but it doesn't look at all like a game. So let's make it look a little bit prettier. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and center these numbers in their respective cells, because now they're in the bottom left corner of each cell, which looks hideous. So in order to do that, I want to find out the bottom left coordinate of the thing that we want to draw. And in order to do that, I think there's a way to measure text width in the Canvas API. So let me find out how we do that. Yeah, there's a measure text web API, and I think it just gives us the width. So it returns some text metrics, and the text metrics have a width. Does it also have a height, I wonder? Okay, so it has a width. Okay, actual bounding box left. Okay, so it has a bunch of properties. I think we're just gonna need the width for that. So that gives us the width of the text that we are passing to it. So the first thing I want to do is just go ahead and change the bottom left coordinate of the text to be completely in the middle to begin with. Alright, so here we're just using the bottom left corner of the box we want to draw it in, but that's not quite nice. We want to go ahead and change that into the middle pixel of the box. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the text to the middle of the respective block, and that means I will align the bottom left pixel of the text with the middle pixel of the block, and then I'm going to go ahead and do one more step to make it exactly right. But first, let's make it approximately right. And what this means is I need to add to this x just the half of the block width. So that should move it horizontally to be in the middle. It actually doesn't do it, and I guess maybe this is a flooring problem like before. No? Is there a mistake there? Block W over 2 fill text. Why is it not doing it? Well, it's gonna need some debugging again. Alright, let's oh, actually, it's probably doing it, but we didn't open it anything. Okay, so it's almost centered horizontally, and let's try also center it vertically. So instead of doing that block H, we just need to do block H over 2, and that's indeed doing it correctly. So you can see the middle pixel of the block is aligned with the bottom left pixel of the text. But now we need to make the center pixel of the text align with the center pixel of the block. So let's go ahead and do that. What I'm going to do for this is measure the text. So let's just do measure text, and I'm just going to use the text M, which is representative of a single letter. So that's text metrics, or text. Let's call it text size. So let's take a look here. I need to go ahead and do text size dot width over 2, and here as well text size dot width over 2. And here I'm just assuming it looks kind of like a rectangle. Actually, I think here it needed a plus. Alright, so this looks centered. That looks much better. It's more professional, I guess. Yeah. In particular, actually, I think the text width portion can be the actual number because the font is not a fixed size font, but I will just use the m.width to represent the height. So that's the text size M, and then the text size number is going to be the particular number that we want to measure. So that's going to say board yx. Right, so the width, the actual width is going to be here. That's the text size number and the text size in. Alright, let's see how that looks like. Okay, that looks even better. I think it's even better aligned for the different width numbers. That looks nice. Alright, so what I want to do now is I don't want to show the zeros at all, but I want to change the color of the opened cells. So if the state of yx is opened, I want to draw them in a lighter color. So I'm just going to use here, let's say DDD. But if it's closed, then I'm going to use the text 999. Okay, there we go. That looks quite nice. And the zeros, I'm not going to show them at all. So if it's opened, and if it's a 0, so if it board yx is equal to 0, then just, if it's not 0, then draw it. Otherwise, you don't need to really draw it at all. So the number is going to be shown only in the case it's not a 0. Okay, that looks much more realistic as a Minesweeper. Even the -1 looks alright. Okay, that's nice. Of course, we should replace a -1 with a mine. But before we go ahead and do that, I want to change the numbers to have specific colors. So Minesweeper colors. I will look up the colors that the typical Minesweeper uses. Okay. So maybe this is a good example to see all the numbers that the regular Minesweeper uses. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's put in the colors in the rendering module. Colors. So the 0, of course, we don't care about, but the 1 is just a regular blue. The 2 is a green. 3 is a red. The 4 is a navy blue. The 5 is maybe a dark red. Is there a dark red CSS color? I wonder. Dark red, dark orange, dark red. There's actually dark red. That's nice. I think we may have to do dark green actually, because green's gonna look too bright on that gray. Okay, so we've got dark red, and then we need the cyan for the 6, and then there's a 7 which is purple, an 8 which is dark, or it's black actually. And then is there even a 9 somewhere? I don't know. Let's go back. I think I found a reference that has all the numbers. Oh, there's no 9. Obviously, there's no 9. Okay, so that makes up all the colors. So I'm going to look up the color here. So I'm going to say the fill style is not going to be black. Instead, it's going to be the colors of board of y x plus 1, or other -1, because we're 0 based in the colors array. There we go. So that looks pretty much like a Minesweeper. That's really nice. All right. So let's add the icon for mine. Let's add the icon for mine now. So mine icon. Let's just find a free mine icon. I think I can just use the noun project for that. That has some nice icons there. Free. You just need to mention the creator. The creator's name. Or actually, maybe there's an old icon set called fam, which has some really nice icons. I wonder if it has any mine icons. Let's find one. There we go. Alright, so I think the Silk ones have a lot of icons. We can even use something more novel than a mine, something maybe a little bit more unusual. I would not use just images from Google. These are usually copyrighted. Alright, so let's download this file. Downloaded the icons so that I don't keep you guys waiting. It seems that the fam set is a bit small. They're too small icons for our game. They're actually an excellent icon set, but they're just 16 by 16. So I went ahead to the game icons.net icon set, which is SVG, so we can scale them. And it seems to have SVG icons for bombs, which is really nice. So yeah, that works out really well for us. So let's go ahead in the Minesweeper and move the Firebomb SVG here. I wonder if we can just render it here. So let me just see if Chrome can render this SVG without a problem. It should actually be able to do that. Let's see. So yeah, it can draw the bomb there. So I think in the canvas I can just do a draw image to copy from an image to the canvas. So that's what I'm going to do in the case of a -1 that needs to be rendered there. So it has a draw image and then an image and a dx and a dy, which is the destination x and destination y. And image is an element drawn into the context. The specification permits any canvas image source, such as HTML image element, which is what we need. So I'm just going to go ahead and hide that bomb. So I'm just going to call it bomb and hide it. So just display it none. Or actually, I think I'm not going to include it in the HTML. Just put it here as a bomb icon. Just uses camel case. So here we go. Let's do a new image, and then bomb icon.source is going to be the firebomb.svg. So when we render a block, we fill it with text. Okay, yeah. If it's opened, if it's not a 0, we draw it. Well, actually, what we want to do is switch it. And if it's a 0, we don't do anything. If it's a -1, we draw a bomb. So let's call it, this is a block bomb. Yeah, and then in the default case, we just draw the number. Okay, so here's the draw number. As I said, comments are an indicator maybe that our code is not very clear. We can abstract it out. So let's do a render number here. Render number at location xy. And now we don't need the comment. Okay, so function render number xy. And we have that. That's nice. So we got the board, we got the x and the y, we got the measuring, we got the blocks. Everything is defined except for the view coordinates. I think view coordinates are grabbed here. So we need to just call this again. That's okay. Yeah. Alright, so that's the drawing of a number. We don't need the comment anymore. And then here we need to say render bomb x, y. And again, we need to make a function render bomb x, y. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the view coordinates again. And I'm going to do a draw image. Draw image, and the image is going to be the bomb image, which we have defined here. Bomb icon, actually, it's called bomb icon. And then it has a specific location, which is the view coordinates.x, view coordinates.y, and the destination width and destination height should be exactly equal to the block w, block h. And then the source height and width and the source x and y are the default, so sx and sy are 0, and s width and s height are just the height and width of the bomb. So that should do it. Let's see if it works. Oops, something's wrong there. Block bomb is not defined. What did I call it? Block mine, I call it mine. So, yeah, that should say a block mine, and then maybe we should also call it block render mine. Render bomb should be called render mine. So let's see if that works. Game over. And it doesn't actually show the mine. I wonder why that is. That's not very nice. How about that? Okay, I wonder if it's an SVG problem or something else. Let's take a look again at the API. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this or that, but I need that one. Okay, so I'm using this one. So destination X, destination Y, D width, D height. I think this is actually a correct call. So let me just go ahead and try to draw an image here. Bomb icon 00. Draw image is not a function. Yeah, it should be CTX. So it is drawing it. The canvas is not a problem. Let me actually try to draw it with block W and block H. It actually is drawing it there just fine. So I wonder why it's not doing it here. So if it's a mine, then render a mine at X, Y. Well, let me just go ahead and break it there and see what's wrong with it, because the canvas function works just fine. So click that. That's definitely a mine. It's not drawing it, and render mine is not being called. So something's wrong with that. Aha, so my switch is wrong. Obviously, I don't need this comparison here. It's comparing within the cases directly. Right, here we go, game over. And it's paused. That's great. And that's a mine. Alright, so we've got that. And I can't play anymore. That's great. Alright, refresh. Let's play an actual game. Oops. It's winning me. Alright, so here we go. Let's open up a few. So this one should not be a mine. Yeah, oops, game over. Yeah, that was a mine. That was a mine. Alright, I think the next step is to create flags. So let's see if we can make it possible with a right click. So the controller, instead of having a just an open block, it should also be able to flag a block. So detect mouse button on click. I think we can do that. This is the event listener. There we go. So let's try this one. Handling events, and then we have a button. I think it's called button. That's a button. That's not a mouse button. Get mouse button on click HTML. Let's see. Alright, using middle click. Okay, I want just the right click. So it's the which function. Thanks, Mr. Stack Overflow. Alright, so it's the which one. So if e.which is, well, actually let me just console log e.which and see what numbers the browser uses, because I don't remember them. So this is actually 1, and the right click is not working with a click. It's not really working. It's not logging it. So right click event HTML. Let's see how we do that. Maybe we have to do mouse down. Yeah, on mouse down is what we have to do. So we need to change that into mouse down, and then I guess I can use the which. Okay, so 3 is the right click, and what I need to do is return, and there's a way to cancel the context menu. Yeah, so I think it just return false here, maybe. Return false. Let's try it. Okay, so if I do that, nope. Return false, context menu, yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Canvas add that listener, context menu, function, return false. So if somebody right clicks, we don't want the menu to appear. And oops, add event listener, that's a typo there. Let's see if it works now. That's another typo. Okay, that's not a typo, but it still doesn't work. And then I guess we need also a false here for the bobbling part. It doesn't work still. Let's see why. On context menu event return false and using event listeners. Oh, there's a prevent default. Alright, let's do that. That should do it. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so we got the which. So let's switch which. Case mouse left. It's going to be that. And remember that mouse left is equal to 1. mouse right is equal to 3. So that's the open block case, and the mouse right is going to be flag block. Mol coordinates x mol coordinates to y, and of course we render. Okay, that's nice. So we need to create a flag block function. This is going to be part of our game. So let's just go ahead and do a flag block xy. So what this does is, if it's already flagged, it unflags it. If it's not flagged, it flags it. So state of yx. Well, first of all, if the state of it is opened, then you can't really do any flagging. So just return at this at this stage. But otherwise, if it's state flagged, I think I called it flagged, yeah, flagged, that's right. Okay, so if it was flagged, then what we do is we make it state closed. Alright, so the default is closed. I'll make the flagged one be a 1, and then I'll make the open one be a 2. That means I can just flip the bit. So I can just say, if it's flagged, make it not flagged. If it's not flagged, make it flagged. Or I can just keep them as numbers and do that one. So 1 minus 0 is a 1, and 1 minus 1 is a 0. So that should do it. So let me just try it and see if it works. So I flagged that block, but which is not defined. And the reason is I just used which alone, but it should be e.which. Okay, so I flagged the top left one. I haven't written any code to render it yet, but if I look at the state board, it should have flagged the top one. That's right, okay. So that's flagged. So let's go ahead and render that. Okay, so if it's opened, then you do that. If it's not opened, you do that one. And in case it's not opened, if it's flagged, then you also want to draw a flag. So if state of yx is equal to state flagged, you go ahead and render flag at location xy. So my render flag function is going to look similar to that. Actually, it's going to look very similar to the render mine function. Yeah, so it's going to say render flag. Okay, so instead of just drawing a bomb icon, I draw a flag icon, and I need to define it again here as an icon. So let's make it var flag icon is new icon or new image, and this is going to say flag icon. Our source is going to be, well, we need to actually find a flag. Yeah, here we go. I found a flag. I like this one. This is called tower flag, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. So then you just put it there, and this is getting kind of messy, so I'm gonna go ahead and move my images into a new folder. So I'm just gonna make a directory images, and I'm gonna move all my SVG files into images, and then this is gonna be called images firebomb. This is gonna be called images tower flag, and that should be doing it actually. Let's see if I flag that. Well, it isn't. Why not? Well, I wonder what's going on here. Alright, let's put a breakpoint one more time, and we need to put a breakpoint in the rendering of a flag. So in this case, it's not opened, and it should render a flag at location x, y. So I'm right clicking on that, it's pausing the debugger, that's nice, and then step into, and then it's rendering a flag. That's right. So it should render a flag icon at that location. The flag icon is an image, should be able to show it alright. So it's converting the coordinates, drawing the image, there's a flag. Okay, and then, oh, okay, it's overwriting my my flag with the rect, which is something I don't want. So I want the rect to be drawn first, and then the flag drawn on top of it. So that's right. So let's first draw the rect and then draw the flag. So if the state is flag, then render the flag. Alright, one other thing that I want to do is, in my actual game logic, if I'm asked to open a block, if the block is flagged, then I want to protect the player, and I want to say if the state of the block is state flagged, then don't open it, it's probably mine. Alright, so let's see if that works. Let's remove the breakpoint and go ahead and flag this one, open that one, try to open that one, that doesn't work, unflag it and open it, and that works fine. So I think now we can play a little better. Okay, that looks, actually that feels like a proper Minesweeper. So that's going to be a mine, and this one's not going to be one. Okay, so I think I actually need to create a victory condition as well. There's none of that. Yeah, it looks like it works. And these ones are mines. Okay, that looks quite nice. I'm quite satisfied with this. Alright, so we need to have a function reveal board, as I said previously. And the reveal board function is going to be called either when the player wins or when the player loses. So what reveal board is doing is it's just going to go through all the board, and it's just going to open everything. Right, so it's just going to go here, do a for loop like that, and I'm going to say board of yx is going to be state opened. Open everything. Except well, that's a good start actually. So when you're losing, then reveal board is a nice thing to do. So let's try that. Okay, open that, game over, and oops, it's doing something stupid there. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Well, this should be state, not state opened, not board. Okay, game over, great. Alright, and that's the board. Let's try it one more time. Play here, and that's a game over, and we've lost. Okay, that looks great. That looks great, actually. And let's make it also work in case of victory. So I need to check for the victory condition, and for the victory condition, what I need to do is check for victory. So let's just make it a function, check victory. Check victory, and then check victory is going to just go ahead all the board one more time, like this. And what it's going to do is, if the board of yx is not equal to block mine, then that requires the player to have opened it. So if the state of yx is not state opened, then return false. Otherwise, if everything has been opened, everything that's not a mine has been opened, return true. So maybe, yeah, so if check victory, then let's say alert, you are victorious, and reveal board. Let's see if we can make that work. Game over, you're victorious. That's not great. Well, when game's over, then just return at this stage. You can't be victorious. But if you are victorious, you want to say playing is false. Okay, and in case of victory, I want to have I want to show flags instead of mines. So I'm just here. I want to say victorious. So okay, so if board of yx is equal to a block mine, then if victorious, then the state of yx is going to say state flagged. Otherwise, it's going to say a state mine, or state opened actually. Okay, yeah. So if it's a mine, then do that. Otherwise, for everybody, make it open. I guess we can write this in a simpler manner. Continue in this case. Don't have the else here. Don't have the else there. Okay, and then this can be just an and situation there. Okay, that's quite nice. I think it's working. So what this says, if it's a mine and you're victorious, then you mark it as flagged, and you go to the next one. But for everything else, you make it opened. Either you've lost or it's not a mine. Okay, here we go. Let's lose and see if that works. That's a losing condition. And let's try and win as well and see if that works. Okay. In fact, I should not mark everything as a flag because I want some of it to be marked by my code instead. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so this one of these two is a mine, so this can't be, and then these can't be as well. I think I'm kind of stuck here. Well, one of these two is, so this can't be, and then so this is definitely a mine. So this is not a mine, and then this is, and this isn't. Okay, so I'm going to, well, this is a mine, so this isn't. So if I open this up, it should let me win. You are victorious, but it's not actually flagging them. I wonder why. I think the reason is I'm not calling it correctly. Yeah, so if you're victorious, then it should be true here. Otherwise, it should be false there. So let's go ahead and play one more game. So one of these two is, this is definitely one, this isn't, so this is. Alright. Oh, I think this may be taking a bit too long there. Yeah, let me try an easier game. Okay, that's an easier game. Alright. Okay. Everything seems to be working. And then, okay, you're victorious, and you're victorious again, and showing you're victorious forever. I'm not sure why, because you're calling reveal board, and then, but why is it doing that? So when you do reveal board, that's really weird actually. Why is it calling open bug many times? This doesn't seem to be in a for loop or something, so the open block function must be called several times. Let's actually remove that, and that's maybe in an infinite loop now. So in my Minesweeper game, is it calling open block? No, it isn't. So when I call reveal board, somehow it calls open again? I'm not sure. Okay, I think I'll live with this little bug, and I'll call the game complete for now. So I hope you enjoyed making this Minesweeper game with me. It was a lot of fun for me. If you did, please thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And a shout out to all my friends on Patreon who have supported me. If you have any suggestions for future videos or questions about what I'm doing in these videos, leave a comment in the section below, and see you next time.